Hello, and welcome to the Deed Dynasty by Bigby Plays. This is the sequel to the game The Deed, which I played earlier in my lifetime, and I gotta say, I did have a lot of fun with it, so. Let's check out the Deed Dynasty, shall we? Ooh. Let's do Blood Will Have Blood. 1401. Yeah, play the intro. Game options, full screen. Alright. Scottish Highlands, October 19th, in the year 1382. Last time we were just playing for a family. Ooh. Father, son. How is she? There's nothing more you can do. There's nothing more that can be done for your mother, lad. It's a strange thing. Looks like she's given up fighting the sickness. It can't have been easy for her, being abandoned by her new husband like that. Broke her heart. I don't expect she'll last the night. No, that can't be. Stifle those cries. You're a child no longer. It's time for you to become a man. It's no easy life, being an orphan. You need to pack up your things by morning. There'll be a wagon waiting for you in the courtyard. I can't stay here? No, lad. This house will be reclaimed to pay the remainder of your stepfather's debts. Robert McKinnon will be held to pay if the usurers ever catch up with that man. Then where will I go? The monks of Bigby Priory have agreed to take you in. They'll treat you well enough as long as you can earn your keep. Now go, say a farewell to your mother, lad. Mother. Oh, sweet William. This is my fault. I should have known that the man was a scoundrel. I should never have married him. I couldn't stop him from squandering your fortune. I couldn't stop him from violating your father's memory. You must remember your father, William, your real father. You come from the proud and noble line of Bruce. Swear to me that you will always remember that. I swear it, Mother. There is one more thing you must promise. When you come of age, you must find the cowardly rascal who destroyed our family. Find that husband of mine. Find Robert McKinnon and make him pay for everything he did. I will do it, Mother. I promise. Yes, you will. My brave, sweet William. Yes. Mother. Mother. What an intro. What an intro. So depth and deep. Bigby Priory, Scotland, February 10th, in the year 1401. I found him, Mother. Just as I said I would. 20 years. Has it really taken me so long? I hope you aren't disappointed. Robert Woosley is the name he chooses to bear these days. He is living in England as a member of the King's Privy Council. Can you believe it? When you met him, he could barely scrape 2 shillings together. Now he is wealthy beyond reckoning. The governor of the Isle is right. I wonder how many other poor souls he had to destroy to obtain that position. No matter his wealth and prestige, will not protect him from my vengeance. From our vengeance, Mother. The men of this priory have been good to me, but the time has come for me to do as I promised. There is heresy spreading in Britain, and has taken room here in Bewley, where even the prior himself is a follower. My sources tell me that Wolsey has taken a particular interest in rooting out this heresy. I wrote him a letter expressing my support. It was enough to secure an invitation to his family estate in the county of Yorkshire. Once there, I must find a way to bring about his end. I will be careful. I know that you would want your only son to find himself on the headsman block. Someone else must pay the price. No amount of prayer could bring you back, Mother. But you will be avenged. I will make this selfish unthrift pay for what he did to our family. I forgot how much dialogue these games have. Wolseley House, Yorkshire, England. Excuse me. Dusk is fast approaching by the time you arrive at the Wolseley estate. A weary guardsman is has ushered you through the outer gate and into the large courtyard. The deed must be done tonight after dinner. You should converse with other guests and residents, learn their weaknesses, and locate some evidence to use against them. As you expected, the guard searched your person before you entered the estate. You must also find a fitting murder weapon while you are here. You cannot carry more than 2 items, so choose carefully. Dinner will commence once you've chosen your second item. Ooh.
A horse is a vain thing for safety, so the lords tell us. On the other hand, highwaymen pay little heed to scripture. You must be William Bruce, I suppose. The governor mentioned you'd be coming. I am Simon of Bremisgrave. Myself and my travelling companion, Mother Burns, come here often to tutor the governor's daughter, though I suspect that tonight he has another reason altogether for inviting us here. I don't suppose you know anything about it.
I wrote the governor a letter, and we've been corresponding ever since. That's all I know.
Ah, yes, the governor does love his letters. In fact, that's how I came to know him as well. If you don't mind asking, on what subject did you correspond?
I wrote about the spread of heresy. I shared with him concern about my concerns about the spread of heresy in Scotland.
The Wycliffe heresy, I take it.
Yes. There are a great many adherents in the country of Ayrshire, I understand.
Interesting. I had realized they had spread so far north. In truth, I would hope that a Scottish king might give them more freedom to discuss their ideas openly. No matter, I probably shouldn't speak of such things. What would you like to discuss? I won't keep you any longer. Go in peace.
Don't tell me what to do. I will go... There's my run button. I will go and... Hang on. I just had to make sure. This isn't like Barclay, where I accidentally step. Are you a man or a woman? Ah, good evening. Please do step inside the great hall. I am Nicholas, the steward. All of the other dinner guests have arrived already. You must be the mysterious William Bruce.
Other guests?
Oh, yes. Perhaps you have already spoken to Brother Simon out in the courtyard. We're also honoured to have the Reverend Mother Mary Barnes in our chapel. Sir John de Ashton occupying the guest chamber. You will find them on the upper floor if you pass If you pass through the side chamber over there, the kitchen is on the other side of the hall. There is nothing through there except the servants' quarters, though. If you feel hungry before dinner, speak to Alice. She will prepare something for you. If you are feeling cold, I will chop some more wood for the fire. For anything else, do not hesitate to ask. Ooh. Well, how is it coming along? Not much longer now. The guests have all arrived. This meal ought to be ready by now. See to it. I can't make a stew, cook any pasta, not without ruining the flavour. Do not talk back to me, impudent girl. Simply do as I say. Make sure the meal is ready within the hour, or there will be consequences. Damn, bro. Ooh. Oh, you startled me. Sorry, I wasn't paying more. I was paying more attention. Are you one of our dinner guests? Yes, William Bruce is my name. Your accents. You're from Scotland, aren't you? I just finished reading the chronicle of a knight who spent time in your country. Are there really savages in the Highland Mountains? Do your people truly worship and fear strange evils? No, we are Christians, aren't you? You should not believe every word of those fanciful tales. I worship our Lord Jesus Christ, as I hope that you do as well. Of course, I am a good Christian girl. Ask anyone, they will tell you as much. Only, perhaps, don't ask the Reverend Mother about me. Ask Brother Simon, if you must. Calm yourself, girl. I believe you are a good Christian. Thank you. I'm sorry if I offended you by suggesting that you were not. Can I help you with anything else? I will leave you to your cooking. Thank you. I will let you know when dinner is served. I guess I should go talk to the guests. The spacious corridor of the upper floor seems to also serve as a long gallery, displaying various works of art, well as family heraldry and other artifacts. Cool. What's in this room? Ah, crap! I missed it. Even so, the sight of the polished wooden crosses and stone pedestals chills your bones. You must be Mother Barnes. And who might you be with the nerve to interrupt a woman in prayers? William Bruce. And you are? Why, I am Mary Barnes, of course, Mother Superior of Monkton Covenant. From your Scottish brogue, I would guess you come from the north of the border. I have many friends in the Church of Scotland. Tell me, to which parish do you belong? I journeyed here from Beaulieu Priory in the Highlands. Do you know it? Ah, yes. The Sister and Monks of Inverness. One Prior Thomas presides over their order, if I am not mistaken. I know the name quite well, actually. Are you friends with Prior Thomas? Ooh. Ooh. I suppose I do count him as a friend. Then you should reconsider your friendship with him. From what I hear, he is rather weak in his obedience to the Church. Some say he even has sympathies with these heretics. What do you want from me? Nah. I will leave you to the prayer. Good luck. I don't want to know anything just yet. While they display a cabinet, the governor's found by the cavalier inscribed in the herald. The great sword is too large to conceal in your present. However, you might have a chance to collect it later. If you choose the sword, you will still have time to search the house for the other. Nah. You assume that this must be the guest chambers. You must be the guest chamber in which Sir John is currently staying. From the looks of it, he didn't bring very many personal possessions with him on his journey, except a dagger. Saw that dagger on that table. God dang it! Oh, who are you? Well, hello there. By my reckoning, you must be William Bruce. I am Sir John of Great Northern House of Ashton. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Bruce. Now, there's a name with some history behind it. You must have some rather illustrious ancestors yourself. My ancestors are famous for fighting against the oppression of your countrymen, Sir John. Your grandfather was a determined rebel. And as for his father, I'm sure you know the name as well enough. Don't tell me You're another Scotsman who proudly claims descent from one of Robert's bastards. What is your country's such an obsession with the brutish little upstart, anyway? Our obsession, as you call it, is something that only a true Scot could understand. Yes, I suspect that's probably true. We English have heroes of our own. The father far worries one, in my opinion. Well then, what shall we talk about? I'd rather be getting. Farewell to you, William. What a dick. A young dark-haired girl sits by me and dressing daughter. Alright, that's the governor's daughter. Your blood turns to ice when you see him standing so close. This villain you have been hunting for so long, it doesn't look like the years have changed him much. Well, let's talk to you.
Ah, William Bruce, I assume.
You look just as I picture you. Greetings, Governor Woolsey. I am so glad you could join us for dinner tonight. There are so many things to discuss. Regardless of any history between our two countries, we are all Christians and must face the threat of heresy together. More than anything, though, I want you to see that this is an opportunity to meet my friends and family. Perhaps soon you will come to count yourself among them. Do you have a family of your own, William? You never mentioned them in your letters. I once had a family, till there was some misfortune. Oh, I am sorry to hear about that. What happened, if you don't mind talking about it?
I come from a good noble family whose honor and fortunes were destroyed by the actions of one wretched man.
I see. Does this man yet live? Yes, he does. Well, if a man had done such a thing to my family, I would soon put him in the ground. When it comes to matters of family and honor, there is no better remedy for injustice than the sharp point of a sword. Thank you for your advice, Governor. I will certainly keep that in mind. Anyway, I should return to my work. I look forward to continuing our conversation during dinner. What is this? The Governor's standing too close. Okay. I think I know who I want to frame already. Alright. This letter has apparently been left here for the steward to give to the messenger. Make sure that Sir John is not watching before you carefully. It has come to my attention that you still owe significant debts to my household. It would be unfortunate if I were forced to take any measures further to retrieve those monies. The threatening letter is not signed, for obvious reasons perhaps, but does it appear to be in the governor's handwriting? The intended recipient also not mentioned by name. If you take this letter, you can still leave the letter. Okay. He's up to the scared and brought to go see up here. Really nothing up here. Okay, I think I'm gonna take the dagger. However, I do want to check out the servants' quarters. Just cellar below. Servants' quarters. Small chamber belonged to Alice, the servant girl, given the lady's mirrors and other artifacts on the small table.
Clementine indicate that she has a love letter.
Do not come to my bedchamber tonight. There are too many who might overhear our pleasures. Come tomorrow after Nicholas has turned in for the night. I'll be waiting. From your own correspondence with him, it would seem that he is indulging in an affair with the servant girl. This alone would probably not implicate her in anything, but perhaps the unread letter can serve a purpose if you take the letter. I will take the letter. Large pair of boots and a man's tunic messily strewn across the floor indicate that this is the private chamber of Nicholas the steward. Alright, Alright, I know I didn't do a lot of investigating, but that's because I just wanna... I think I know what I'm gonna do, just so I can continue the story. To use the Grey Sword. The Grey Sword will be an ideal weapon. You decide to collect it later after dinner. Sounds like we are being summoned to dinner. I'd better not be late. There should really be more knights in this governor's house.
May I see your new horse after we finish the table, Brother Simon?
Of course, my child, as long as you clear your plate.
How old is he? Is he a war horse? Has he been in many battles? Quiet down, Eliza. Don't pester him with your childish questions. But I... Silence. I've had quite enough of your silly preoccupation with horses and battles. Such things.
That's what the first game needed. Interruptions to say nothing. So, Robert, are you going to tell us why you've really asked us here this evening? Patience is a virtue, Brother Simon. However, since we are all here, might as well get to it. As some of you are aware, I am a close friend of the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Arundel. I met him while serving as Archbishop of York, and we found that we shared a great deal in common with one another. Once I returned from the Isle of Wight and seen out the final days of my governorship, I will be serving as his right hand in a new mission.
What mission exactly?
I will be serving as the office of Heritus Pravitas Inquisitor of Heretical Improprieties. I've never heard of such an office. That is because the office has not been required before. However, things are about to change in our country. Parliament will soon pass a law allowing the Church to order the arrest of any persons suspected of heresy. If they fail to renounce their heretical beliefs, they will be burned at the stake, as an example to others. King Richard never allowed that. His Majesty is not Richard. He seems the threat to our faith much more clearly. Not to mention his gratitude. Without the support of the Church, Henry would not have been king. We cannot let these heretics destroy our Church. Burn them all, that's what I say. Huh. Sound almost gleeful about it, Sir John.
Gleeful? Perhaps. Shouldn't one feel joy while defending the faith that one loves so dearly?
Well said. And on the subject of defending our faith, I intend to form a private council of my own to help root out this heresy. That is why I have asked all of you here today. Of course, in my opinion, the heretics are only the beginning of the problem. Tell me, William, what is your opinion on the existence of witchcraft? Must confess, I've never seen anything that would ever lead me to believe that in the power of witchcraft. I once thought the same as you do. Now, more recently, I have come to wonder. I have been studying the works of Thomas Aquinas of late. He argues that witches can, in fact, perform miracles. If we take a miracle to mean that which is beyond human understanding, but not beyond the power of God, does all this have to do with heresy? Does it not seem to you that witchcraft is the ultimate form of heresy? Surely those who indulge in these dark arts would not go unpunished.
Of course they should be punished. I feel unqualified to speak on the matter.
However, this may be a conversation for another time. First concern is dealing with these damned heretics. I have chosen each of you for a good reason. Even you, Brother Simon. You have never been afraid to speak your mind. A valuable trait. I'm glad you think so. And you, William Bruce, can keep me updated on the activities of the heretics north of the border. Of course, I would be glad to serve such a righteous cause in the name of our faith. Good. I knew I could rely on you, William, despite the fact that you are not Englishmen. Despite any differences we might have, we are all good Christians, I believe. And as most importantly, here. Anyway, I think we are finished here for tonight. I must go and take in some fresh air. Would be good enough to prepare communion for a little later, Brother Simon. Certainly. Go now. Myself and the Reverend Mother will see to it.
Alright, now it's planning time. Now that dinner is over, the time has come now to plant any evidence you have collected. Then you must finally seek out the scoundrel and put an end to his life. To plant the evidence, simply enter the room location. Sorry. Well, here's the thing. I really wish it told me, like, where. I'm just gonna put it here. Yeah, planting in the chapel. Quickly stuff the rolled up letter inside the traveling pack while the other two are distracted in their prayers. Wow, I was so close. Slain by his own blade, you collect the sword, watching it gleam in the dim hand. It is time to do the deed. Where would he be up here? Governor Woosley stands perilously close to the edge. After 20 years of waiting, the moment has finally arrived. Now is not the time to make any mistakes. Choose your murder weapon. You hold the great sword in both hands and bring it down. In an almighty swing, the mighty blade cuts through the man like a scythe through wheat. A gasping half-cry is all that emerges from his lips before he falls lifeless to the ground. You drop the great sword on the stone floor from his bloody injury. There is no need to check if he is dead. You need to get out of here before someone comes to investigate. Oh, I got 12 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, damn, someone is coming. Okay, just passed right through me. William, did you hear that? I believe it came from the tower. I heard nothing about this now. Would you mind us playing tricks? Really? I'm certain they did. We better go investigate all the same. Oh, snap. God. Robert. How could this have happened? Who could have done this?
That is not for us to determine. Nicholas, who is the sheriff of the Shire?
Nicholas? My apologies, Brother Simon. I'm just a little shaken. Thomas de Bromflay is the House Sheriff. He is apparently at York Castle, about an hour's ride from here.
I shall ride there immediately and return with him tonight.
We see to things here in the estate, Sir John. Bring the girl to the Reverend Mother. She will need consolation.
Oh yes, of course. I will see to it.
Welcome, my lord. I wish I could say that I was pleased to see you.
Nicholas, Sir John, and who might you be?
This is William Bruce, a friend of the governor.
William Bruce, I can't say I've ever heard of you.
Well, I haven't heard of you either until today, Thomas de Bromflay. I suppose we both made a new acquaintance.
Yes, I suppose we have.
Where is Brother Simon?
He is outside seeing to the horses. Who else is in the house at this moment? Liza is here.
Eliza is here, though it would be better if she wasn't. The Reverend Mother Mary Burns is attending to her. Oh, and Alice, the servant girl.
And all were present at the time of the murder?
Yes.
We've been here all evening.
I see.
Everyone should be in one room. There's somewhat smaller upstairs, perhaps.
There is the governor's cabinet, I suppose.
Gather everyone there. Meanwhile, my men will conduct a search of the house. We'll also have to search each of your persons.
Is that really necessary?
Yes, Sir John. But have no fear. We will soon get to the bottom of this heinous crime. How is the girl?
She's resting now, though I doubt she will find peaceful sleep for some time. Poor child.
Let her rest for now. I may have questions for her later. First of all, I would like to run through the events of today with each of you. When I have gathered, each of you had the opportunity to slip away to the top of the tower sometime shortly after dinner. William Bruce, as far as I can tell, you are the outsider here. You'll forgive me if my questions are directed at you for the moment. I take no offense. I would likely do the same thing in your position.
Very good then. The truth is, I still have no idea who you are.
Tell me something about your past. There's not much to tell. My mother died when I was a child and I was raised at the priory. You're an orphan then, no status of speak. How did you come to know the governor? I wrote him a letter regarding the spread of heresy in Scotland. He was intrigued enough to invite me to his estate. That's right, I told him about this much earlier today. First reached out to him then. Yeah. I knew he would be interested in the matter. I see. Tell me. What time of day did you arrive here? I can say that. I can answer that. I saw William arrive in the courtyard while I was tending to the horse just before dusk. Did he say anything to you? Yeah, he came over and introduced himself to me. I seem to recall that we spoke about the spread of heresy in Wycliffe. Heresy in Scotland. Yes, and you said you didn't realize the heresy had spread so far north. Yes, I do recall saying that. Otherwise, we said nothing of consequence. I was also there when William arrived. I greeted him on his entrance to the house and told him where to find the other guests. Did you speak to him again after that? I don't think we spoke about anything else of importance. Actually, I also heard a disagreement between Nicholas and Alice in the kitchen. Oh, a disagreement? Yeah, the guests had all arrived and Alice had failed to get the stew ready in time. That sounds like nothing more than a normal domestic matter between servants. Let's move on. I spoke to William when he came to the kitchen. And what was the subject of discussion? I had been reading a book that contained some tales of peculiar habits and customs of Scottish people. I asked him whether those tales were true. I may have caused him some offence by suggesting that Scottish people are anything other than Christian. However, he was very gracious about it, I see. I can't think of anything else we talked about. What about you, Sir John? Oh yes, I ran into William in the long gallery. We exchanged a few words. He claimed he came from a descendant of Robert de Bruce, so we got talking about him. William said the English will never understand why Scots still love him, so sounds like you are quite fiercely patriotic, Bruce. No more than the average Scotsman. We all love King Robert. So I suppose that's true. I think that was all we spoke about, other than small talk. I too spoke to William before dinner. He came to the chapel, as I recall, and wanted to discuss with him. He said he travelled here from Beaulieu Priory. I was familiar with it, having many friends in the Scottish Church. I also know it by reputation. The prior is known as a malcontent with past ties to the Wycliffe heresy. This man claims that he regards the prior as close friends. It's true, we are close friends. See, that is quite troubling. We discussed nothing else. You speak to the governor before dinner, Bruce? Yes, I spoke to him in his chamber. What did you discuss? What else? We spoke of the heretics and how they should be punished. Try to be more specific. I advise that we should not be brutal in punishing the heretics. It is always better to try and reform them. That is wise counsel. Yes, perhaps. Alright, now someone needs to tell me what happened during dinner. Yeah, I only remember that Eliza was pestering Brother Simon about his horse. Yes. After that, the governor was told us that the Parliament is about to pass a new law that to allow the burning of heretics. Sir John seemed quite in favour of the idea.
I was. Then William dared to accuse me of being too bloodthirsty.
I am a Christian. I believe that we ought to show forgiveness and compassion, just as Jesus did.
You dare compare yourself to our Lord Jesus Christ, you arrogant man. Sounds as though you might have taken issue with some of the governor's idea, William Bruce. Anyway, the conversation moved on to the topic of witchcraft. The governor asked William if he believed in the power of witchcraft. What did you say?
I told him that I don't believe witches have any special powers.
What happened next? Then we spoke about what punishments would be suitable for witches, since they are just another kind of heretic.
First Turner came to the oven to go all to his private council, and revealed the reasons why he had chosen us. I believe he said that I was strong-minded, and that William could be informed of the events in the church north of the border.
What did you say about that, William Bruce?
I was ready and willing to do my duty for the church. It's good, I suppose.
Anyway, that was the last time I saw the governor alive.
We discovered the body. Me and William found him. The Reverend Mother and I were at the chapel, and I thought I heard a noise from the tower.
Oh, shit!
I found William in the long gallery when I went to investigate, so we ascended the tower together. Had you heard the noise as well, William Bruce?
No, I had not heard anything.
So you just happened to be in the long gallery at that moment?
Yeah, I suppose.
Let's move to discussing the manner of the governor's death. The governor killed by his own grayskull. You're quite an accomplished swordsman, aren't you, Sir John? Only on the battlefield, Thomas. And you, William Bruce, can you swing a sword?
No, having been raised largely by monks, I've never touched a sword.
Seems a little unusual for a man such as yourself. But if you say so. I will now take counsel with my captain of the guard.
Shit, my plan is coming through the lines.
Did you find anything during your search of these persons?
Nothing of note, Sir John. The servants or two members of the clergy, my lord.
What about William Bruce? Did you find anything on his person?
Nothing, my lord.
And during the search of the house? There was a travelling pack in the chapel, which I believe belongs to Reverend Mother. Inside we found a letter. I wondered if it might be of some interest. This looks to have been written by the governor. I recognize the handwriting. Do not come to my bedchamber tonight. There are too many who might overhear our pleasures.
What? Is this somebody's idea of a joke?
Yeah, it kinda is. If you are denying that this letter was intended for you, then Reverend Mother.
Of course I deny it.
I'm sure this could not be possible.
I would not have thought of so either, brother.
But the letter speaks for itself. It would be highly scandalous if it were true. A bride of Christ would go to great lengths to conceal the truth.
Never. Shame on you for even conceiving of such a thing.
I can only follow where the evidence leads me, Mother Reverend. Search the rest of the house, found nothing of interest, my lord.
Very well then.
I believe I've heard enough. William Bruce, I'm almost certain that you had something to do with the governor's death. I knew it from the beginning. I would not even entertain the idea that the Reverend Mother was involved. Based on what I've heard tonight, as far as I'm concerned, you were one of the governor's closest friends, Sir John. I don't believe you were involved. Now taking all of this into account, I'm going to have my guards put you in chains, William Bruce. I suggest you do not resist. You are making a mistake, Sheriff.
I very much doubt that.
Caught me. Caught me red-handed. Fuck. With the weighty amount of evidence standing against you and insufficient evidence to arrest anybody else, it was not long before you were brought before a judge to stand trial. The trial seemed to be only a formality considering the evidence. Yet, the sentence was swiftly passed. Afterward, you spent your last days in a dank cell. Finally, the day comes when you are drawn to the scaffold to face your execution. Here you will hang almost to the point of death. And then the worst of it will begin. There are no sympathetic faces among the angry English crowd, the common people of York having turned out in droves to witness the gruesome spectacle. As you wait for your torturous end to begin, your thoughts turn to your mother. The only source of relief is that she is not alive to witness this herself. Any last words, William? Filthy Swanee. This is the price that must be paid for justice, so be it. I can only hope that there are more justice in the next world. But at least I might see my mother again. Wow. That was the deed. Well, that was pretty much the first story. Stay tuned for more stories to come.